Good evening. Welcome to CLAT 2025 RC through editorials. This is Career Launchers, dedicated channel for law aspirants. As you know, we're going to do reading comprehension through editorial. Sometimes I'll use other passages as well. But before we start the session, please let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly. Then we can start the session. And I will also know if my chat function is working well. All right. Like, give me a heads up, thumbs up, any up. Let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly. All right. No, I don't see any. Hold on. Uh, all right, let's start. Like we do every time that we start the session, we will tell you from where I have taken this passage. I have taken the passage from my favorite newspaper, that is The Hindu. I like it because of the editorial quality, but next time I'll do something different. And this is on an issue that many states have done, but this time, of course, Karnataka is in the limelight. Jobs for locals bill, and we'll talk about this. It will improve your general knowledge, but the objective of today's session is to improve your reading comprehension skills. I will show you each passage for each of the slides for about 45 seconds to maximum a minute, because there's not much content in the slides. And then I'll explain the passage to you. We will look at the questions. Taking your feedback, I have made the questions a little more difficult this time. All right, so are you ready to start? Yes? All right, let's start. I'll give you about 45 seconds to a minute for this. Start. Now I can finally see your chat. Mukti, Sharve, Arman, Radhika, start. Deeptakshi, hello. 45 seconds up. I'll give you 15 more. The moment you're done, please put in the chat box that you're done. I will know your average reading speed for the day. Let's concentrate on the passage instead of your marks. We will talk about your marks when we do the mock analysis. All right? Done. Can I change the slide? All right. Next slide. I'll give you a minute. I will summarize the passage for you after you finish reading. 10 more seconds and I will change. All right. Oh, all right. So let's look at what is the passage about. One line answer about the reservation for locals, reservation in jobs for locals, right? How was the language of the passage? Easy, moderate, difficult. EMF, D, sorry. Easy, moderate, difficult. How was the language? There's a lag. By the time I ask the question, you give the answers. Quickly give me answers. How was the passage in terms of degree of difficulty? Karnataka reservation bill in the private sector. It was of moderate level difficulty. What is the author's? Yes, even if you read it previously, it is still moderate. What is the author's main concern in the passage? Addressing labor exploitation and enforcing rights for all workers, including migrants, is idealistic. Creating a fair and more equitable labor market is desirable but untenable. Providing reservations for local candidates in employment, as proposed in the Karnataka bill, could lead to constitutional, legal, and social issues. Job reservations and similar bills proposed by various state governments require much thought and debate. What is the author's main concern in the passage? Why has he written the passage? To express which point has he written the passage? What is his main concern? Is it A, B, C, or D? Quickly, let me see your answers. Is it A, B, C, or D? What is the author? After you finished answering this question, I will summarize the passage for you. That is for me to see if you've read it correctly or not. Because for a main concern, main point, primary purpose, theme, you don't have to go back to the passage. C or D, but I chose C. Language is better. All right, all right, others quickly. I only got one answer so far. I've only got one answer so far. What about? It's okay if you get it wrong because we haven't summarized the passage. I will summarize it for you. Then you will get most of your questions right. So I have not taken you back to the passage yet. See, think, assume. All right. Only three answers for C. All right. Most of you seem C or D. C. All right. Start with the first paragraph. Despite the fact that attempts to provide reservation in jobs for local workers have proven unconstitutional, it is against the constitution to provide reservation in, wait, let me get my pen color to blue, in jobs for local workers and have been rejected by the courts. The temptation to pander to native sentiments remains among state governments. State governments still want to make the natives, the locals happy, so they've gone ahead and they're still attempting to do this. A case in point, for example, the draft Karnataka State Employment of Local Candidates in the Industries, Factories, and Other Establishments bill, cleared by the Congress government's cabinet, but later temporarily withheld following an uproar from industry heads and trade bodies in Karnataka. So it's against the constitution. Courts have not agreed to it. Still, governments are trying to do this. And this bill Karnataka tried to pass, but because of protests from industry heads and trade bodies, that bill has been temporarily kept on hold. The bill envisaged that industries and other establishments would appoint local candidates in 50% of the managerial positions and 70% of non managerial positions and set stringent criteria for defining local candidates. So, one, it said 50 and 70% managers and non managers. Also, who is a local? That candidate has also been, that who is a candidate, that definition has been given very strictly. Similar bills were passed in Andhra Pradesh in 2019, Haryana in 2020, and Jharkhand in 2023. While the Karnataka bill added proficiency in Kannada as one of the criteria to define the eligibility of a local candidate, the Haryana and Andhra Pradesh laws were largely based on residency criterion. So various states have passed. Most of them have added residency, that you should be a resident of the state for so many years for you to be considered a local. In addition to that, what the Karnataka bill has done is added proficiency in Kannada. I think it said should be able to read and write. I am wondering how many of the non-managerial, non-management positions, how many people, even if they are local workers, how many of them can read and write in the language? I mean, you are assuming a minimum amount of level of literacy. But anyway, this is the second one. Third, the Punjab and Haryana High Court quashed the Haryana Act in 2023, saying it's violative of equality guaranteed under Article 14 and freedom under Article 19 of the Constitution. It said it went against the rights of the citizens from the rest of the country, and that states enacting such laws are setting up artificial walls throughout the country. So it's discriminatory and violative of the freedoms, the rights, the constitutional rights guaranteed to individuals. The Andhra Pradesh Act is still being held in court while the heard in court, while the Jharkhand bill has not yet been implemented. Apart from the above reasons, the Karnataka bill is also violative of Article 16.3 that allows for reservation based on residence but limits it to public employment, can only be enacted by a law made in parliament, not by a state legislature. So, many reasons why the Karnataka bill goes is unconstitutional. The temptation of the Karnataka government to come up with bills that provide for reservation for locals and labor protectionism, despite their proven unconstitutionality, is perhaps motivated by the fact there is resentment among resident workers in better off states that their job was being taken over by migrant workers. So there are certain local workers who are feeling very insecure. They feel that their jobs are being taken over by migrant workers, and the government is motivated by such fears. This is especially so for those aspiring for jobs in the private sector. Why only private sector, or why mostly private sector? Because some employers have sought to exploit migrant workers to work for longer hours and at lower pay without benefits or social protections and without political support that is available to local workers. The private sector is offering more jobs to the migrant laborers because they work for longer hours for a lower salary. They don't have any social protection, they don't have any political protection, so they can exploit them. The local workers they can't exploit. So there are more migrant workers in the private sector. If Karnataka is concerned, this is the author, the editor's opinion. If Karnataka is concerned about this segmentation of the labor market that pits the migrant workers against the locals, then it should enforce rights for the former as well. So give rights to everybody. That way, the private sector cannot exploit this lack of rights and employ more migrant workers. By curbing exploitative practices, it could create a level playing field for all workers. Protectionism for the local worker and parochialism is not the answer. Karnataka bill, other states have also formed the bill. Why has Karnataka come up with this bill? And the author's opinion on it. So, is it C or D now? Addressing labor exploitation and enforcing rights for all workers, including migrants, is idealistic. Idealistic means cannot be done. Not correct. Creating a fairer and more equitable labor market, the author is calling for it, is desirable but untenable. Author has not said untenable means cannot be done, not practical. Author has not said that. Providing reservations for local candidates in employment, as proposed in the Karnataka bill, could lead to constitutional, legal, and social issues. Why not this? This is very vague. requires much thought and debate. No, they are wrong. He says it's wrong. It is unconstitutional, violative, so there is no thought and debate. Okay, you cannot do it. If you want to do it, increase the rights. All right. Therefore, the correct answer is C. Good. Let's go to the next question. What Now understand the question first. What is the assumption implicit in the Karnataka government's move to propose a reservation bill for locals? That means the assumption implicit in the government's move. What did the government assume when it proposed a reservation bill for locals? That's what the question is asking. Read the options. I'll take you back to the passage. Let me know which, if you want to see the passage, I'll show it to you. The absence of job protectionism is forcing youth to migrate to other states. Is this the assumption? There exists resentment among resident workers that their jobs are being taken away by migrant workers. The government will capture the vote bank in all ensuing elections. Other states would not emulate Karnataka and implement job protectionism measures. What assumption was implicit? Why do you think, on what did the Karnataka government take for granted? On what basis did they decide to start uh, this bill? Why did they propose this bill in the first place? That's what he is asking. There is no mention of Karnataka youth moving to other states. There is no mention of other states emulating or not emulating Karnataka. We've had other states. So is it B or C? Do you think it's vote bank politics, or do you think it is resentment among resident workers, among local workers, resident workers? Answer is B, that yes, the resident workers. So probably this existing resentment made them propose the bill. Therefore, they assume that there exists resentment, and that is why they proposed the bill. All right. Vote bank has also not been mentioned. Actually, there was a passage, the same topic. There was an editorial in another a newspaper. I don't remember. That was more hard hitting than this. All right. Which of the following can be inferred from the passage? Either it will be based on the uh, main point, uh, or the main argument of the author, or one of the key points. So, what can you infer from the passage? Option A, B, C, or D. Question 3. Give me the question number. All right. Percentage. What can you infer? Infer means what is 100% true based on what is given in the passage. Okay. Okay. The Now, why do you think Karnataka has? Let me get other answers. Why do you think Karnataka has even thought of this bill? It said this: there is resentment among resident workers, and therefore that their jobs are being taken over by the resentment among locals, the anger, the outrage among the locals, that look, migrant workers are coming and we are not getting jobs. But nowhere has it been given that no, but nowhere has it been given that's a concern for the government. Understand? For you to say it's an inference, you have to show me which line in the passage, from which line in the passage do you say that the government was worried that the what does the government care? What it cares is local workers are agitated and angry and they want to stoke that. So then later these local workers will be part of their vote bank or whatever the reason. But is it worried about the low percentage of local workers in the private sector? We don't know. It just said that the resentment, they know it's unconstitutional. They know other states and have not succeeded. But why did they do it? He says perhaps the resentment has motivated them. Got it? So A is not an inference. Okay. Some people said B. Is it B? It is not local workers who are exploited. It is the migrants who are exploited because they are not. Migrant workers are not protected by labor rights. We don't know whether it's all over, but definitely we know in Karnataka they're not protected. Actually, they are not. They're neither here nor there, right? So they are not protected by labor rights. That is correct. Okay. If I hadn't given in Karnataka, then you can't really call it, but best of bad options. All right, but we know that in Karnataka they don't have. Definitely, the passage says, yeah, it is C. The government encourages exploitative, we cannot say. The private companies are doing it, the government has not passed a bill, or the author is saying you pass a bill. Therefore, the correct answer is C. All right, because it mentions Karnataka, makes C doubly correct. Even if it hadn't mentioned among the four options, that would be correct. All right. Question 4. All of the following are false according to the information except. So, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Always remember when you get questions like this, you have to choose. Yes, you cannot make assumptions if it's an inference question because that's an unsupported assumption. Okay. So, what are you looking for in question 4? You are looking for which option is true. Correct? All are false except means which one is true or which one is correct. What's your answer for question 4? Karnataka is the first state to include language proficiency in the job protectionism scheme. Reservation based on residency criterion is prevalent in several states in India. Reservations based on residence criterion is constitutionally valid if passed by the parliament, or parliament can pass a law for reservation in public sector employment. What about C? See, A, we do not know if it is the first state to include language proficiency. It said that it has included it. So A is wrong. Reservation based in on residency is prevalent. It's not. They're all trying for it. Doesn't mean it's prevalent. So is it C or D? You'll have to look at the passage again. All right. Here, it allows for reservation based on residence, limits it to public employment, and enforced only by a law made in parliament, not by a state. Now, what does the option say? We do not know. The government can pass it only for public employment. C does not mention public employment. It just says any reservation. All right. Therefore, only D. Okay. All of you clear? All right. Question 5. Which of the following inferences does not follow from the author's arguments? Does not follow. So, three inferences will follow, one does not follow. Tell me which one does not follow. Hmm. Aim to satisfy local sentiments in proposing. Uh, no, no, no. One state government did that doesn't mean all do. Okay. I somewhere something. This is correct. Uh, there were complaints against the bill for this is correct. This is correct. So it should be A. I think the answer has been given as D. Uh, this is correct only. No, this question is should be A. It's only the Karnataka government. It's only the Karnataka government that we do not know about the others. Okay, so all right. Okay, 6. I don't know how I got that wrong. Which of the following can be inferred? A. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. I was very busy today and I did not check my PPT till the last minute. Please do not look at this. No, which one does not follow? It said no. 5 is which one does not follow. Yeah. This should be which of the following cannot be inferred. The whole thing is a mess. Mm. This you ignore, okay? This totally ignore. Can be inferred is what he is asking. Question 6, he is asking which of the following can be inferred, not cannot be, can be, correct only. I'm not telling you the answer. Quickly give me the answers. Now, No laws protecting migrant workers, you cannot say clearly. Migrant workers are vulnerable to exploitation due to the lack of, yes, local workers enjoy social and political support denied to migrant workers. We do not know. They enjoy it, which these guys do not have, but not all local workers. You can't say all local workers enjoy social and political support denied to migrant workers. All right. This is only in the private sector, but you can't say everywhere. All right, only in the private sector are they made to work for longer hours. So each one is general except C, which is there. All right. Question 7. Which one is an antonym or opposite of parochialism as used in the passage? Which one is an opposite of parochialism as used in the passage? Parochialism means comes from the word parish. Parish is a small area that a pastor, that a church official has. Those number of people come to a particular church. So if you're parochial, you are only catering to that narrow community. All right. The often shouldn't have been there, but otherwise the answer is correct. If you cut, okay, sorry, not here, here. Only in the private sector. Okay, not all migrant workers we are not talking about. Only those who work in the private sector. Not all everywhere. Okay, this is correct. Okay, this is again, we do not know if they're all denied to the migrant workers. This is only in the case of Karnataka. All right. Okay, let's, oh, sorry. Parochialism, which is the opposite of parochialism? So parochial means narrow minded or insular. Okay, insularity. Okay, opposite is Catholicism, which means liberal or broad minded. All right, I know, but that's not the answer, so it's okay. All right, restricted in your outlook. All right, okay. Question 8. Which word in the passage means visualized? I have highlighted some words: resented, pandered, envisaged, aspired. Which one means visualized? Okay, I'll show you the passage. Which of the words in the passage is a synonym of visualized? Oh, all the highlighted words are gone. Rejected was one of the options. So, okay, you can look at them. Let me be careful in not showing you the answers. Resented, feeling indignant, right? Pandered, to pamper, to cater to something. Envisage means to visualize or to imagine or even to predict. So that's the word we want. C is the answer. All right. what does what situation are we talking about when we talk of a level playing field? A situation that is smooth, uncomplicated, widespread, or fair. What are we looking at? What does a level playing field mean? A situation that is smooth, uncomplicated, widespread, or fair? Fair. Nobody, where no one has any undue advantage. Okay. Level playing field means everyone starts with the same. Nobody starts with any undue advantage. All right. All right. What is the phrasal verb I want here? A powerful gang has risen up to take up, take over, take to, or take what used to be a peaceful place. Envisage is the answer for question 9. Correct? No, level playing field is fair. D. All right. Question 9 is D. Question 10. A powerful gang has risen up to dash, take up, take over, take to, or take. Take up means to adopt. Take over means to dominate or take control. Take to means have a liking for something or even flee. He has taken to the hills. So here it will be B, take over. And that has been used in the passage, but I gave you another sentence. All right. This is called an analogy. You have to look at the relationship of the pair in the question. Stringent is to strict. What is the relationship? Are they words based on meanings, opposites, degree, or cause and effect? So decide what is the relationship and tell me which option has a similar relationship as stringent is to strict. Mukti, give me your answer without a question mark. Give it to me with a full stop so there is no doubt in your mind or mine. All right. Stringent means strict, so they are synonyms. Okay. Do you think I'm a martinet? Martinet is a strict teacher, and opposite is somebody who's lenient. Proficiency means expertise or skill. All of you need proficiency in English, logic, general knowledge, legal aptitude, and a little bit of maths. Comely means beautiful, homely means pervasive, means widespread, opposite is scarce. So the answer is B. All right. Next time, I will ensure that those mistakes in the questions will not be there. I didn't have time today to check the PPT, otherwise, I would have, but one question only, so it's okay. All right. So I will see you again next Monday at 8 p.m. with a slightly more passage will be of the same degree of difficulty, but maybe this time 50% questions on English and 50% on logic, inference, and then we can kind of questions more of it, little more of vocabulary also. All right. Oh, good, good. Which number is this? Which mock number is this? I lose track because we are on to the next two, three, right? Which mock number was this? Um, this will be. I've already lost count. All right. So good. I'm glad. Keep at it. Keep taking mocks. Okay. All India Open. Good. Very nice. All right. So we shall meet again on next Monday, 8 p.m. Until then, stay safe, keep studying, eat well, sleep well. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.